Hey, what's going on, guys? Musha the Cow here, and welcome back to another video where today we are going to be doing a documentary on the Suchomimus. Now, the Suchomimus was in fact a water creature. It did hunt fish. The Suchomimus did pick up the scent of a Shantungosaurus moving through the forest up ahead, so he will sit it out and wait for the Shantungosaurus to pass. Shantungosauruses are very, very aggro. Those dinosaurs do not like other dinosaurs, and they will attack if needed. They will attack almost every time. They are super aggro. It is very rare to see a Shantungosaurus that won't attack you. Suchomimus knows that there's a Shantungosaurus coming, but doesn't know when, so he decides to move on. The Suchomimus blends in very well in the redwood forests, but is not adapted to the redwoods or anything on land. He is well adapted to it, but not well enough. He is more adapted to water, which is his prime hunting areas. He will sit out and wait in the water until a smaller dinosaur comes up, like a Utah raptor or a berry, or anything smaller than it. An Allosaurus is a bigger prey item, but it is smaller than the Sucho. But the Sucho doesn't want to risk dying. The Allosaurus does a lot of bleed, and it is a very dangerous dinosaur to tackle. If the Shantungosaurus sees the Suchomimus, it will most likely attack it. It won't be a good day for the Suchomimus if it does decide to go after. Although the Suchomimus has the advantage of being smaller, the Shantungosaurus is much faster and has a lot more stamina. The Suchomimus doesn't know when it's going to appear. Although it looks like the Suchomimus is hunting, he is not. He will have the ambush speed if the Shantungosaurus does spot him. Again, sorry if you hear any background noise because everybody in this house is so loud. I'm sorry about that if you hear any. Just ignore it if you do. Just try to focus on the screen and my voice. Alright? Thank you, guys. Suchomimus decides to start sprinting because he hasn't had a trace of any sounds of this Shantungosaurus. He might be resting, which could turn out very dangerous for the Suchomimus. As noon comes, the colors become more vibrant, and the clouds move away from the sun, so it is easier to see. Our T-Rex specimen died after shooting the movie. Our T-Rex specimen died from a trike. It was trying to hunt the trike, but it didn't turn out well. These Triceratops does 30 bleed per hit, which could be fatal. The Rex got too much bleed on it, and the trike died. The Rex died. The trike might have died from the rest of the pack incoming on its position, but it most likely didn't. Suchomimus comes up on the ocean separating marsh and trips, and Suchomimus starts picking up the speed to head towards trips. He is starting to dehydrate. That is not good for a water creature. Suchomimus might decide to head to marsh, but that might be dangerous because there could be a herd of Shantungosauruses over there. There normally is. One time the Rex went there, and he almost got killed by the Shantungosauruses. Thankfully, there's lots of trees and foliage, and the Rex escaped from running through the trees and avoiding the Shantungosauruses' fatal headbutts. The headbutts from the Shantungosaurus do bone break. And that just makes the Shantungosaurus that much more dangerous. The Suchomimus had to rest because it was running for so long. But now the Suchomimus' stamina is back up and he is running back to trips already. Suchomimus' stamina regains super quickly the fuller and more hydrated it is. Suchomimus is incoming on Trip's position and is super excited to get a drink of water because he hasn't had one in such a long time. Suchomimus was born here at Trips. He was very excited to return to the place he was born. Suchomimus sees an ankylosaurus running through the bush. It swipes its tail at him and keeps running. That's a sign that there is herbivores here, and the Suchomimus has to be very, very careful. Ankylosaurus is so small, he could just sneak up on the Suchomimus and break his leg. But he has eyes on the Ankylosaurus, so he doesn't have to worry. Suchomimus sees the entrance of Trips, decides to trot on to the first lake. This is where the Suchomimus will rest in the water and wait for a prey item to come. Suchomimus has to be very careful though, because anything could easily kill Suchomimus. As long as he can outrun him, Suchomimus is all good. The Suchomimus slows into a crouch, because he wants to be very wary of what lies here at Trips. If there's a Herrerasaurus or anything smaller, the Suchomimus will try to get a jump on it, as long as there's no other carnivores around watching. So many dinosaurs have come through here that the entrance of Trips is no longer foliage like this. Pletrosauruses have knocked down all the trees, well, most of the trees, except for that lonely one, and all these smaller herbivores or dinosaurs have basically flattened all the foliage and made it so that there's only grass. Suchomimus lays eyes on the first lake, wondering if there's anything there waiting for him. Suchomimus can't get a very good look on the lake, so he decides to head over to this little clearing so he can see what's going on. All the Suchomimus sees is water and rocks. There's no sign of life here, which is good and bad for the Suchomimus. The Suchomimus doesn't see any shadows in the water or anything at Second Lake, so he decides to get a drink and wait it out inside the water. As he gets a drink, he hears nothing, except for all the birds and insects flying through the air. He sneaks into the water to wait for any smaller prey to come across. Suchomimus is the crocodile of the dinosaur world. For theropods, of course. There were actual crocodiles who roamed the dinosaur land way before Suchomimus, like Sarcosuchus and much others. He soon decides that his shadow is clearly visible because he was a different color than the water. So he decides to go wait it out in the bush over here. The Suchomimus' skin he was born with is very, very camouflaged in this foliage. So he decides to sit down and wait it out for any prey to come across him. A Utahraptor would be the best source of food because it is the biggest dinosaur that the Suchomimus can hunt that will not kill him. This is the spot where Baryonyx was waiting too. This is a very dangerous spot though because Rexes and packs of big herds of dinosaurs come through here and walk right around this. If anything were to see him, he'd most likely be dead. Doesn't seem like anything is here at Trips, but he decides to wait it out, because going to marsh is way too dangerous. Suchomimus heard a dinosaur. He hears an aloe danger calling. An aloe danger calling is very rare, so this could be bad. He sees the stego. Hoping the stego won't see him. He stays still. The stegosaurus quickens up and starts sprinting towards the lake, hoping he doesn't go into the Suchomimus' direction. It is an albino stegosaurus, which doesn't look too bad. Stegosaurus is getting really close to the Suchomimus, but he knows he can't see him. Stegosaurus is drinking the water. If he lays down, this is not good. Stegosaurus is not trotting, but walking. That skin is very nice on the Stegosaurus, but it is a prime target for bigger dinosaurs. It is way easier to see for other dinos, but the Suchomimus would not ever risk going after a Stegosaurus. It's way too dangerous. Those tails can penetrate anything, even a tree. So it'd be a very stupid idea for our specimen to go after a Stegosaurus. Instead of going after the Stegosaurus, he sits and waits it out for another dinosaur to come along. Something smaller than the Stegosaurus. The Stegosaurus lets out a broadcast. The Suchomimus sees the Utahraptor. This could be Suchomimus' chance. Suchomimus got stuck in the mud, but is now free. Once the Stegosaurus passes, he's gonna try to go after the Utahraptor. Utahraptor is coming up. Utahraptor is getting close. The Suchomimus gets the Utahraptor. A good kill. That was a very good kill for the Utahraptor. I mean the Suchomimus. Suchomimus will eat. This is a huge kill for it. The Suchomimus played like he wasn't gonna move. He played like he didn't see him. The Suchomimus went in for the kill. The Suchomimus threatened versus Stegosaurus. So stay away from it. Very lucky kill for the Suchomimus. The Utahraptors are very fast and the Suchomimus would never be able to keep up. The Stegosaurus is getting very close and this Velociraptor might be dead. Suchomimus doesn't want to make too much noise because this could alert other animals that he is here. Suchomimus wants to go in for a bite, but he knows he can't kill a Stegosaurus. try and defend his kill. The Suchomimus hears a Giga. Suchomimus sits and listens. The Giga decides to come after him. Suchomimus will run by the Utah body and see if he won't kill him. He sees the Giga on the other side of Second Lake. The Stegosaurus bolts into the other direction. Suchomimus doesn't know where the Giga is, so he decides to crouch and run back into the woods. Doesn't want to risk getting any closer to that Giga. He hears the Stegosaurus let out a broadcast roar. Maybe the Giga heard it and will go after the Stegosaurus instead of me. The Velociraptor is still sitting there. It might be a prime target for the Suchomimus when the Utah Raptor disappears. The Suchomimus decides to switch on his night vision. He decides to move into a better spot to sit. This might be risky because it's right next to the Utah body, but it's his only chance of not being seen. Suchomimus changes his mind and decides to sit right here. It might be harder to see him, but he's got his back open to the wild. So he decides to stand up again and eat some of the Utah body. He comes back to his normal spot. You may think this world is a beautiful world to live in, judging by the foliage and how good the planet looks, but it is rather than beautiful, it is a harsh, harsh world. Death is everywhere. Death is basically everywhere. You can't hide from death in this world. You can't. You have to survive or you die. That's how this world goes. Another Velociraptor comes up. 2 Velociraptors now. Suchomimus can either go in and kill them or leave them alone. Suchomimus decides to leave them alone for now. The Suchomimus has had a very long day, so he doesn't really want to move around much. Unless he has to. The Suchomimus picks up another call from the Giganotosaurus. That signals that he is still at Second Lake. He picks up another call, but it seems to be getting closer. The Suchomimus does not want anyone eating his corpse, so he kills that below. He can't see the other below though. He moves in to get the kill. Kills the other one. A Rex is incoming. The Suchomimus is faster than the Rex. The Rex ran out of its ambush speed. The Suchomimus is gone. Suchomimus doesn't want anything to do with that Rex. Seems like the Rex is catching up though. dodges the bite. Suchomimus is dead. And he lays down next to the body.